No, coltan is a precious stone that's found in all of our smartphones and laptops. 85% of it is mined primarily in Eastern and Central Africa, in the countries Congo, Rwanda, and Burundi. Many of our precious resources that makes the Occidental world so rich and wealthy has come because of this sort of mining practice and the analog exploitation, even in the face of our technological advances. Hack into dietary sustenance, tradition versus health. Hack into comfort, compliance, hack into the rebellious gene, hack into doctrine, capitalism in relation to free labor and slavery, hack into the history of the bank as beating the odds, a mere act of joining the winning team, hack into desperation and loneliness, the history of community in the marketplace, hack into land rights and ownership, hack into business law, proprietorship, hack into ambition and greed, hack into forms of government, systems of control, the relation to suffering and sufferance, hack into faith and morality, the treatment of one faith towards another, hack into masculinity, femininity, sexuality, what is taught, what is felt, what is learned, what is shared, hack into God, stories of creation, serpents and eggs, hack into nature, biodynamics, biodiversity, cycles and seasons, hack into time, calendars, Descartes, its relationship to doubt, is a wire to fear, the notion of control, the space-time continuum, the force of gravity, whether the opposite of gravity is freedom. Hack into freedom, power, responsibility, justice, the Bill of Rights, hack into coincidence, the summer of '68, the 27 Club, the number of people with Facebook profiles, people choose to share, people share too much, people seem lonely, people want to connect, people want to uplift, people need uplifting, hack into self-help, self-sufficiency, and self-indulgence, hack into crazy, hack into lunatic, hack into star, hack into infamous, notorious, the effects of the construct of poverty on the psyche, the effects of the construct of race, the victims that survived. There is a panel marked survival. 3 simple copper wires coiled round an orb, hack into orbit, equatorial landmines, useful and precious metals, coltan as cotton. Hack into violence, fear, and ignorance. How are they linked?
Truth is interesting because it's like, it's not just truth. I notice people who have great access to truth who lack restraint. You know, I'm blown away by people's lack of restraint at times, or discernment. It's complicated.
Yeah, just because it's the truth don't make it less dangerous.
Right.
Yeah. I want to know from you, as someone who sort of represents how a man is thought to feel or express, what is masculinity and what is the opposite of it? What is masculinity first?
Well,
what is it?
Obviously, you know, and for whatever reason, this has been a huge part of my work as well. You know, like.
But I feel like because you break down walls without necessarily, you know, making the effort to.
It's not as if there aren't other people in my life. You know, I've been surrounded by some really powerful, outspoken women for all of my life. So that even most of my reading choices are stuff where they're like, read this, then talk to me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know?
No, I understand.
And so I'm really a reflection of the great thinkers I've been surrounded with, and then because my dad was a minister, but also because he was gay. And it didn't come out until much later in life, and it came out in a crazy way. But also he taught me beautiful things, like I remember, for example, being 8 years old and saying I want to be an actor when I grow up, and my dad, old school theater head, being like, well, then you have to study tap. You can't be an actor if you don't study tap. You know? So I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Would say go viral. No?
Right, exactly. You know, he was like, you got to study tap.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So I went to one class, and I'm 8, and I came out, and I was like, I'm the only boy in the class. I'm not taking this class. And I said something I had never said to my parents before. I feel like a faggot. I'm the only. And my dad was like, hey, you said you want to be an artist?
Yeah.
I don't need to hear any of that homophobic shit coming out of your mouth. Yeah. You're going to be surrounded by all sorts of people, and you need to open your mind right now and realize that it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that was my dad who said that to me at 8, who like stomped it out quick, you know? And
especially considering the demons he might have been harboring.
yeah, exactly, you know? So it's I'm so thankful for that moment.
Absolutely.
Simultaneously,
A lot of people don't get that lesson.
yeah,
early.
simultaneously, I sat in a room with him and Al Sharpton and a bunch of his other friends, like Jesse Jackson and motherfuckers, who would literally, a group of men in a room discussing whether they would ever allow a woman on their pulpit.
Wow. Wow.
And most of them being like, oh, hell no, da, 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 da. And being the little 13-year-old kid who's like, that's stupid, that's stupid because, da, da, da. You know?
Yeah.
I was given the space to talk like that to them, which was cool.
Right.
But I have witnessed like the inner circles of, you know, that patriarchal whatever to this day. And it's disheartening to know how strong that world is. So when the question of masculinity needs to be dissembled. It is it's horrendous.
Right.
What people are encouraged to bottle up.
Right.
What people are encouraged to deny in themselves under the name and banner of masculinity. So it's masculinity is a problem. It's a major problem. You know, I would say that we need to encourage the disassembling of all of our ideas surrounding masculinity. Yeah.
Gotta hack it.
Yeah,
What's the opposite of that? What's the opposite of masculinity? What does it look like when that toxicity is removed?
It's called humanity. It's called love.
Yeah.
It's called realizing that the greatest power is vulnerability. It is not some stiff, rigid, mighty, look at all these guns I have. Like, it's not in that.
Yeah.
It's in the acknowledgement of growing, of learning, of
Namaste.
Yeah.